It's gonna reschedule.
Party's ready on Maurice Hubbard.
Yes.
Calling case number 245981, the people of the state of Michigan versus Maurice Hubbard. The defendant is charged with count 1, robbery armed, habitual offender, fourth notice. This matter is scheduled for exam.
Good morning, Your Honor. Agent Lewis for the people, P85520.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mr. Carter, P5372, appearing on behalf of Mr. Hubbard.
Today's date time set for preliminary examination. Are people ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, the people are ready to proceed.
How many witnesses?
One witness, a civilian witness.
Any preliminary matters before you call your witness?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, call your witness.
At this time, the people call Bahir Micah, and that's BAHIR MIKHA.
Yes, can you give me the?
Oh, I'm sorry. There you go.
Where is your thing, South Attorney County? And things South Attorney County. Please raise your right hand, sir. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. That's okay. That's refreshing, believe it or not. Ready.
Sir, can you please restate your name for the record?
I'm sorry.
Can you please restate your name for the record?
Bahar Mika.
Okay. And Mr. Mika, on December 2nd, 2023, were you at the address of 11002 Hayes Street?
Yes.
And what is at that address?
It's a liquor store.
And why were you at that liquor store?
I'm a store manager.
Okay. And is that store located in the city of Detroit in
Yes.
Wayne County?
Yes.
And on this particular day, did you come into contact with anyone?
Yeah.
And do you see any of the persons you came into contact with here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you please point to and identify something they are wearing?
He's wearing the green Maurice. His
Yeah.
name.
Your Honor, may the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant?
So,
Okay. And on that particular day, what was the nature of your contact with the person you identified?
He came to robbery and he told me like I'm gonna stab you with a knife. Yeah.
Okay, so let's back that up. You said he came to rob. What do you mean he came to rob you? What was happening? Where were you at this time?
I was like in the store and he came to steal all the stuff and
Okay, so you were in the store where?
I was like behind the counter at the register.
Okay, now you said that he came to steal all the stuff. Did you see him stealing?
Yes.
And what did you see?
I seen him like grabbing all the bleaches and the pencils in the bag.
Okay, and he was grabbing them with his hands?
Yes.
Okay, and where did he put them?
He put them like in the bag.
In the bag. Okay, and when you saw this happening, did you say anything to him?
Yes.
What did you say?
I tried to stop him. I told him like, I'm gonna call the cops on you. And
Okay,
he said, I'm sorry.
and I'm sorry, go ahead.
He said like, if you call the cops, I'm gonna stab you. He had his hand in his jacket. And he said, I'm gonna stab you with a knife if you call the cops on me.
Okay, now did you see this knife?
No, I did not see it.
Hey, but you stated his hands was in his pocket.
Yes,
Was both hands in his pocket?
just one hand.
Okay, and where were you when he said that he was gonna stab you?
I came after the counter to be in the outside.
So you came from behind the
Yes.
counter? Okay, and how far apart were you guys when he said this?
I was very close to him, like 6 foot.
6 feet? Okay, and after he stated that, he was gonna stab you if you called the cops, what did you do?
I actually got scared, I felt my life, like I'm gonna die or something.
Okay, and, have you ever come into contact with him before?
Yes,
Okay, and when you stated you got scared and you, felt for your life, what did you do?
I would start running, to behind the counter to
Okay,
feel safe.
you ran behind the counter?
Yes,
Can you explain to the, court how this, when you say behind the counter, is it a blocking, is there a door or anything?
there's a door and it's like a bulletproof. And the door usually like we leave it open.
Okay, and where did the, defendant who you identified, today, where did he go?
I'm sorry, can you?
Where was he when you ran behind the counter? I'm sorry.
He was outside like stealing the stuff and he was threatening me with a knife, trying to kill me with it. And, then after that, he came outside.
Okay, wait, one,
To the characterization that he was threatening me with a knife, he's trying to kill me with it, because he testified he never saw it. So there's no threat with a knife, he wasn't trying to kill him.
You'll have an opportunity to cross examine.
Sure will.
and did he say those words, that he had a knife at that time? When you said you were behind the counter?
Yes,
Okay, but did you see a knife?
before in the past, yes, not at that time.
Not at this time, on this incident?
No,
Okay, and, so was he, you said it was a door, he was outside that door at this time?
he was outside that door, yes.
Okay, and where were the items?
The items, they usually like in the store, all like, in the shelves.
Okay, but you said that he had put them in the bag, where were the items that he had put in the bag at that time?
Oh, we still holding them in the left hand.
In the left hand?
Yes.
Okay, and, after you were behind the counter, what if anything happened next, after he stated what he, that he was gonna stab you?
Then after I ran behind the counter, I called the cops right away.
Okay, and after you called the cops, where was the defendant when you called the cops?
He went outside, I couldn't see him no more.
Okay, all right, and did the cops arrive?
Cops arrived after like 10 minutes.
Okay, no further questions.
Cross examine.
Thank you, Your Honor. You identified Mr. Hubbard by the name Maurice, right? You know him from the neighborhood?
Yes, I do.
How many times have you asked Mr. Maurice to leave the premises?
Like, what's that mean? I'm sorry.
Have you ever had opportunity or occasion to ask Mr. Hubbard to leave the store?
Many times, yes.
Can you give me an estimate of how many times?
A lot.
A lot, more than 5,
Almost 3 to 4 times a day.
3, 4 times a day? And do you suspect him of stealing when he comes in all the time?
Yes, and that's what he does. He be grabbing stuff and saying, if you call the cops, I'm gonna stab you with a knife every time.
And he says those words every time?
Yes, and one time he put a knife in my neck and it scared me. I was very scared to call the cops and I'm still actually scared by looking at him.
You put a knife to your neck before?
Yes, he did.
And basically, you're having to call the police quite a lot on Mr.
I was
Hubbard.
very scared until that moment happened.
And so he continues to come back to the store even though you.
Every single day after, even I called the police, he came back after 20 minutes, like it's nothing happened.
And you find this upsetting and concerning.
I'm sorry, say it again.
You find it upsetting and concerning that he continues to come back.
Yeah, just like he's not worried about nothing.
How many times do you think you've called the police in the last several months?
I have called him almost about 20 times. Every time he comes in after that incident, I start calling the cops every time he comes in.
Do you notice him stealing every time he comes in?
Every time he comes in, he be grabbing stuff, whatever, like he's in front of him. He grab it and he walks out like it's nothing. And same thing, he said the words, if you come outside or if you try to, call the cops, I'm gonna be waiting outside for you and I'm gonna stab you with a knife.
So he's
And
threatening
I was
you,
like scared, like my life, I thought I'm gonna die like one day.
so he's threatening you, after he's saying to you, if you come outside, I'm going to stab you?
Yeah, like after I leave from work, he's gonna stab me if I call the cops, like to try to stop him what he does.
And you've been fearing for your life for quite a while?
Say it again, I'm
You've
sorry.
been in fear and afraid for your life for quite a while?
It's still until this moment, yes, I'm here.
Were you in fear for your life prior to, December 23rd?
Yes,
I'll have an objection as to the relevance of the prior incident, Your Honor. We are here for the incident that occurred on December 2nd. And
I'll sustain the objection. I'm not sure how that helps you, but anyway, okay.
Well, it would help me if the court would allow me to ask a follow-up question. And that would be if you were afraid, why did you exit the safety of the back of the counter?
when you talking about?
You testified that you were afraid for your life
Right,
and you still approached him. You came from the safety of the counter and still approached him in the aisleway.
because I was scared to call the cops, I called them. I tried
But
to
you were
stop
not
them.
afraid to approach him,
I'm afraid, yes, I'm still in this moment
but you
afraid.
still approached him.
What do you mean by approaching? I'm
You
sorry.
said that you went between 6 feet from him. You
Yes.
left the safety of the counter.
No, I
to
was
go
outside when he
confront
came in.
him.
No, I was outside when he came in.
Hmm.
At that time, he grabbed the stuff, he put him in the bag, and I tried to stop him, and he put his right hand in the
So
bag.
let me ask you this, when counsel asked you, did you approach him, you said earlier that you left the counter at the register to approach him,
No,
that's
I
not
was
true?
outside that time.
Okay, so it's not true that you left the safety of the counter to approach him?
No, I was outside, because usually I'm outside, like organizing the stuff, I'm always outside.
That's fine.
behind
So
the-
now, you said that you continued to put items in the bag,
Yes,
and this was bleach, was it large, small?
it was all like large stuff, like, like.
Large stuff.
I can't remember how much he do.
And he only used his right hand to take things and put them in the bag?
No, his left hand.
He used
His
both?
right hand was in the pocket.
Okay, right hand in the jacket.
But at that time, when he was grabbing the stuff, he was using two hands, but when I came in, when I tried to talk to him, tell him, what do you, like, stop the doing what you're doing, he put his right hand in the pocket, and he said, I'm gonna stab you if you call the cops. And I
Okay.
felt very scared for my life, I ran away behind the counter, I called the cops, and the cops get, like, after, they arrived after 10 minutes after he left, I don't know, where did he go? And, yeah, the cops came in and I made the report. That's what happened at that time. And I have a lot of history with this guy, like a lot of times he be threatening me and calling the cops on him every time, make a report. One time, even my boss, he pushed him in the chest, he threw him out. So there's a lot with this guy. Until this moment,
So your
like,
major concern is the theft and the trespass. You've asked him not to return to the store,
many times.
and he
many-
continues to come back
He
and take
continues.
things.
Even after that incident happened, he started coming again and again. And I have all the police reports.
Right, and you've spoken to the police before your testimony today, yes?
Well, I'm sorry, say it
Did
again.
you speak to the police before you came here today?
No, I did not. Today, yes, I did. I'm sorry, yes.
Right, and up to this time of this current incident, the trespass and calling the police had not worked to stop him from coming into the store, had it?
Say one more
He was
time.
continuing to come into the store even though you'd called the police and made these reports.
Yes, he continued to.
He never stopped,
He never stopped.
okay. Nothing further.
Nothing further from the people.
Thank you, sir. You may step down. You're all set.
Thank you.
Any other witnesses for the people?
No further witnesses, Your
Any
Honor.
witnesses for the defendant?
None, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, at this time, the people will request that the case be bound over. We do believe that there's a question of fact for the trier of fact. We did hear from Mr. Michael, who indicated while working as a manager at the liquor store, he came into contact with the defendant, whom he identified here today as Maurice Hubbard. Your Honor, he indicated that he saw the individual taking bleach and the pencils off of the rack, putting it into a bag. He then approached the individual, telling him to stop, upon which he stated that the defendant put his hand in his pocket and told him that he would stab him if he called the police. Mr. Micah, fearing for his life, did indicate that he ran away behind the counter and did call the police. He indicated that the individual, the defendant here today, did come to that door and was stating that he was gonna stab him before leaving the store. Your Honor, the people do believe that it's question of fact for the trier of fact. The people have indicated that the testimony indicates that the defendant was in the store, taking items from the shelf, putting them in a bag, and that he orally represented as having a knife to stab him.
You can see that it's a question of fact, Your Honor.
I agree, it is a question of fact. The court, after hearing the testimony of the witnesses, satisfies the people have met their burden of probable cause as it relates to the charges contained in the complaint warrant. The court finds those charges were committed in the city of Detroit. The court finds probable cause to believe this defendant committed them. Defendant will be bound over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court of Criminal Division for further proceedings. His arraignment on the information, date and time will be June 10th, 2024 at 9:00 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I got another whole judge and a plea.
Okay. Let's do it.
Parties ready on Shirley Poor?
Four.
No. Calling case number 2456700, the people of the state of Michigan versus Justin Montgomery. The defendant is charged with count 1, weapons, firearms, possession by a felon. Count 2, weapons, ammunition, possession by a felon. Count 3, weapons carrying. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Calling case number 56959, the people of the state of Michigan versus Shirley Poor. The defendant is charged with count 1, weapons carrying concealed. Count 2, weapons, taser, possession or sale of. This matter is scheduled for exam.
Appearances for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mohammed on behalf of the people, P86771.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Sahar Faraj appearing on behalf of Ms. Ford, who stands in person to my right. Ms. Ford, can you please state your name for the record? Sure, before. Your Honor,
All right.
can counsel put a P number on the record?
Your P number.
Oh, 85175, I apologize.
All right. Today is the date and time set for your examination. Counsel.
I was just talking.
I understand that.
No, I was talking.
I'm asking, what are we doing?
We have the expert P number, Your Honor.
All right, please stand. Do you have to sit?
No,
You good?
yeah, I'm okay.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Speak up.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Now, you understand you have a right to a trial in this matter by pleading guilty. You're giving up your right to trial? Can't hear you.
Yes,
Has your attorney explained to you what your rights are?
yes,
You understand them?
yes.
Do you have any questions about them? You understand if you were to have a trial, the prosecution would have to prove your guilt beyond the reasonable doubt. You would be presumed innocent and have the right to confront witnesses called against you as well as call witnesses of your own. You could also testify on your own behalf, but if you chose not to, that couldn't be held against you. You understand that?
Yes.
You understand if I accept your plea of guilty to obtaining a pistol without a license, you could be sentenced up to 90 days in the Wayne County jail. That doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. That's just the maximum sentence that can be imposed. You understand?
Yes.
In fact, the prosecution is entering into an agreement with you whereby you're going to plead to 1 count of obtaining a pistol without a license. You're going to forfeit your rights to possess any firearms or a taser while on probation. Your probationary term will be 12 months probation and any other terms and conditions that are set by the court. You understand that?
Yes.
And you understand I won't be the sentencing judge, that will be Judge Bryant, the 36th District Court. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. And let's see. And count 2 will be dismissed in a complaint warrant, that is the weapons, taser, possession, or sale of. And count 1 will be dismissed as well, or at least amended to obtaining a pistol without a license. Is that your understanding of the plea offer?
Yes.
Does anyone promise you anything else? Anyone forcing you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Okay. Factual basis, please.
Ms. Moore, you were at the Detroit Receiving Hospital back on April 25th, April 12th of 2024, correct?
Yes.
And while you were there, you had a purse with you, right?
Yes.
And in that purse, there was a firearm and ammunition, correct?
Yes.
And you were approached by officers or security officers from the hospital, correct?
Yes.
And they asked you if you had any weapons on you,
Yes.
and you said you had a firearm and a taser, correct?
Yes.
And you handed that over.
Yes.
And this happened in the city of Detroit County, Louis?
Did you have a license for the pistol, man? Satisfied?
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Court accepts the plea of guilty to the obtaining pistol without a license. Pursuant to the plea offer, the court will dismiss counts 1 and 2. We'll set this matter for sentencing before Judge Bryant, the 36th District Court,
July 3rd.
July 3rd, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. Time will be continued.
You ready? Judge, this is a hold. This one.
Sure.
Basically,
There you go.
copy of the.
Can you please give one to, Mohammed? Oh. So you're.
This is when we can do it.
How much away?
See how
Wait.
Okay.
There's no-
Someone do it.
it's like 90.
I'm sorry.
When you see that, it's an indication, like,
Montgomery, right?
when you see that. it's an indication.
Calling case number 2456700, the people of the state of Michigan versus Dustin Montgomery. The defendant is charged with count 1, weapons, firearms, possession by a felon. Count 2, weapons, ammunition, possession by a felon. Count 3, weapons carrying concealed. Count 4, weapons, felony, firearm. Count 5, weapons, felony, firearm. Second notice. Habitual offender, 4th notice. This matter is scheduled for exam.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mohammed on behalf of the people, P86771.
Good morning, Judge King, and to your staff, Neighborhood Defender Service, Carrie Martin, P84592. I appear on behalf of Mr. Justin Montgomery, who stands to my right. Mr. Montgomery, your full name.
Today's the date and time set for preliminary examination. Are we ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
How many
Yes.
witnesses?
Just one, for now.
Any preliminary matters before you call your witness?
Yes, Judge, I'd like to request a mutual order of sequestration. There's no officer charged in the courtroom, so I won't request consent.
All right, there doesn't appear to be anyone in the court from the side of the court staff. Ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land, if you are a witness or potential witness, I'm ordering you to log off at this time. Okay, call your witness.
If I may inquire if the officer in charge is present here at all, not in courtroom, but just.
He is in the court, or outside of the courtroom, he was, I don't know.
I may wish to call EOIC as a witness after Mr. Muhammad calls his.
Call your witness.
And there's one more preliminary matter, and that I'd like to introduce into evidence pursuant to 76611B, a certified record of the defendant's previous conviction, which shows that on January 5th, 2021, the defendant was guilty of felony firearm and possession of drugs, which is under 25 grams.
So stipulated for exam purposes only?
Yes, I was just looking for the seal. Yes, I do see it, and no objection to admission.
Admitted?
For example, purposes only.
Call your witness.
Your Honor, may I approach and hand you?
Sure.
Thank you. And the people call Officer Fields.
Chad Fields, CHAD.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat in the witness box next to me. Maybe when you're ready.
Good morning, officer.
Morning.
Can you please restate your name for the record?
Chad Fields?
Officer Fields, are you currently employed?
Yes.
And who is your employer?
City of Detroit,
And in what capacity are you employed by the city of Detroit?
Detroit Police Department.
Okay, and were you employed in that capacity on February 3rd, 2024?
Yes.
And did you work that date?
Yes.
Okay, did you work that date by yourself or with a partner?
With a partner,
Okay, what is the name of your partner or partners?
Ali Alatia and Anthony Nairo.
Okay, on that day, were you working in full uniform or modified uniform?
Modified uniform like today.
Can you give a brief description of what that entails?
Black, polo long sleeve, green cargo pants, my duty belt, patches, my auto carrier vest.
Okay, and what does your patches entail?
Detroit Police Department.
Okay, and on that day of February 3rd, 2024, were you working in a scout vehicle or were you on foot patrol?
The scout vehicle.
Okay, was this scout vehicle fully marked or semi-marked?
It was semi-marked.
Can you give a description of what that entails?
It's a black, patrol car, Explorer. It's got Detroit Police on each side of the car. It's just no headlight on top. The lights are interior, so.
Okay, and did your duties as a police officer on that day take you at or near the location of Grand River Avenue and Buchanan Street?
Yes.
Is that located in the city of Detroit, county of Wayne?
Yes.
Okay, and while at or near that location, did you observe something that drew your attention?
Yes.
What did you observe?
We observed the vehicle leave.
I want to stop Officer Fields at this time. He said, "We observed."
Just tell us what you observed, sir.
I observed the vehicle, leave the location, that we're in.
Okay, and what about,
That I was in.
okay, what about this vehicle drew your attention?
When it left the location, it failed the signal.
Okay.
So, when I entered the plate into a lane, it came back with no insurance also.
Okay, and what occurred next after you discovered that? So let me rephrase. Is having no insurance a ticketable offense?
Yes,
Is it an arrestable offense?
yes.
Okay, and you said that you observed it, what else did you observe?
It failed the signal.
Okay,
leaving,
is that a ticketable offense? Okay, and what occurred next after those observations?
like I said, after running the plate into Talon in the lane, we, made a traffic stop, initiated our emergency lights. and stopped.
Okay, and did that vehicle pull over?
Yes,
Okay, and what did you do when that vehicle pulled over?
exited the vehicle and made contact. with the
Okay,
passenger.
but which side did you approach?
I was, the front passenger, so I approached the
No.
front passenger of the vehicle.
So you approached the front passenger side?
Yes.
Okay, and as you were approaching that passenger side, did you observe anything that drew your attention?
Yes.
What did you observe?
I observed the front passenger, moving his body towards the
moving his hands toward the left side of his body, and I gave him orders to stop moving.
Okay, so after the observation, based on your statement, did you make contact with that individual, the passenger?
Yes.
Okay, that individual, the passenger that you observed making those gestures, do you see that individual in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Okay, can you point to that individual and point out an article of clothing that individual is wearing?
Sitting right there, brown button up.
Okay, your honor, please let the record reflect that the witness has pointed to and identified the defendant.
So noted.
Thank you. And, okay, so where we were last at is that you stated that you observed him making gestures, correct? Okay, and did you make contact with that individual after that?
Is that a yes? I did hear a
Yes.
verbal response to allow it.
Yep, that's, yes,
Okay, and you made contact with that individual?
yes.
Okay, and what occurred during that? What did you say to that individual?
I gave him commands to stop moving.
Why did you ask him to stop moving?
Like I said, he was moving his, like he was moving his hands and his body toward the left side of his body where I couldn't see, and I felt unsafe.
Okay, and what did you do? You said you felt unsafe?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you do next?
From there, we asked the occupants to exit the vehicle. So I asked him to exit the vehicle.
Okay, and who's him, for the record?
Mr. Montgomery.
Okay, is that the individual you identified in court?
Yes.
Okay, why did you ask him to exit the vehicle?
Because we were making a traffic stop. We were going to impound the car for no insurance. I didn't feel safe with the movements he was giving inside the car. So,
Okay, and what occurred next?
he was pretty reluctant when I opened the door. So reluctant to get out. So I opened the door and asked him to step out further. I noticed he had like a sling bag on his body. That was in that area that he was moving. Those movements were at on the left side of his body. So I asked him to step out. Once he stepped out, I gave him a pat down. In that pat down, I felt in the sling bag like a hard L-shaped object.
Okay, and based on your training and experience as an officer, what was that indicative of?
Fire.
Okay, and so when you felt that, what did you do?
I asked him immediately, I said, do you have a license to carry?
Okay, and what was that individual's response?
No.
Okay, and what did you do next?
From there, I removed the sling bag from his person. And
Okay, why did you do that?
Because I had, at that point, I had probable cause that there was a firearm inside the bag and that he did not have a license to carry, which is a felony offense.
Okay, and after you removed it from removed the bag from his person, what did you do next?
Looked inside of it.
Okay, and did you discover anything?
Yeah,
What was it that you discovered?
a firearm.
Okay, can you describe this firearm?
A small black handgun.
Okay, was this firearm loaded?
Yes.
Okay, and upon that observation, what did you do next?
I made it safe.
How did you make it safe?
I cleared the chamber.
Okay.
One round loaded in the chamber.
Okay, and what did you do next?
Removed the source of feed and magazine.
Okay, and then after you removed that, what did you do next?
Placed it inside my vehicle.
Okay, and what occurred next?
I detained him with handcuffs.
Okay. And do you know if this firearm was registered?
At the point I have to refer to my notes for that.
Okay. Do you know, you said the firearm was loaded?
Yes.
Do you know with how many bullets?
I can't remember that.
That's what they said, okay. All right, thank you.
Do you know how many rounds were in the magazine? Or do you recall?
This happened.
You said you don't recall?
I don't recall.
Okay, referring to your report, refresh your recollection.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach and refresh the witness? Thank you. All right, refer to your report, refresh your recollection. Once your recollection's been refreshed, look up at me and I'll answer the question. Has your memory been refreshed?
Yes.
Okay, and how many rounds were in that magazine? if you recall?
The magazine was loaded with 10 rounds.
Okay, and upon making that firearm stage, what did you do after that? If you recall.
After that, like I said, I detained and placed
Okay.
handcuffs on Mr. Montgomery. There was another occupant in the vehicle.
Okay, the individual that you recovered the firearm from, did that individual produce to you a CPL license?
No,
Okay, and did you ask that individual for a CPL license?
yes,
Okay, and what was that individual's response?
he stated no.
Okay, and did you perform any other investigation work and to concluding whether or not the defendant had a CPL license?
Yes, I ran his name into our talent and lien, and it confirmed per lien that he did not have a license here.
Okay, nothing further from this witness.
Cross examine.
Officer Fields, a few questions for you. So you were the passenger in the squad car that was being driven by Officer Alatia?
Correct.
Yes. And were you investigating a crime, or were you just on routine patrol?
Just on routine patrol.
Okay, so, and you were arriving at a gas station, is that right?
Yes.
And there was no sort of shot spotter alert or green light alert at that gas station? Just routine patrol. And as you're pulling into the station, you see a silver Malibu, Chevy Malibu that's pulling out?
Yes.
So safe to say that at all times when you see this vehicle, both your vehicles are in motion, is that right?
At time, both were in motion, yes.
So while you're observing the Malibu, your squad car is moving as well?
Our squad car was moving, yes.
Yes. And this is nighttime, right?
Correct, yeah.
And the at the start, when you first see the Malibu, you're not behind it, right? It was driving kind of in the direction that you were coming from?
Yeah, we weren't behind it directly.
I see, so you pass each other.
No, we were attempting to get behind it. He was traveling that north mile in the parking lot, and I was traveling Grand River. So Grand River runs like northeast, south. So I'm traveling westbound. So was able to observe by just looking left. So
You were able to observe by looking left, but also observe behind you, right?
no, he was never behind us.
You're never behind you. So just explain to me, where is your car positioned when you see this alleged turn without a signal?
Like I said, our vehicle was positioned in front of the store. So his vehicle is positioned in like exiting, so left of us, which is north of us, I guess. He's getting ready to make a right-hand turn on the Grand River, and that's when we clearly observed that he failed the signal.
Okay, so, and if you had to estimate a number of feet, about how many feet between your patrol car and that vehicle when it made the turn?
I'm sorry, I'm not an engineer. Like, so
Not an
three car lengths maybe.
3 car lengths.
Yeah.
And once you see this, well, so you couldn't see into the car, could you?
I was able to see occupants, but it was nighttime, so it wasn't really visible.
So you're basically able to observe that there were occupants in the car, but not much else? That-
Correct.
Correct. And so you couldn't see any, you didn't know whether the occupants were moving their hands at that point in any way?
Well, at this time, I saw, so I want to retract, I saw an occupant, I saw a driver. So I didn't observe Mr. Montgomery in the cars. From my point of view, I only observed a driver.
So, okay, you couldn't even see anyone but the driver from this point?
Correct.
Okay, so you don't know whether anyone in the car might have been trying to do a hand signal at that time?
No, I would have been able to see that, the way we were positioned, so.
Oh, I see. So you couldn't even see if there was a passenger in the car, but your testimony is that you could have seen if there was a hand signal?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this was not a commercial vehicle, was it?
No.
No. And the turn you're talking about, that's not a lane change, is it?
No.
No, that's pulling out from a gas station parking lot onto a road.
Yes.
And as far as you could tell, it didn't get in the way of traffic.
Grand River's pretty busy, so.
I mean, Grand River being busy is a general statement. I'm asking about what you particularly observed there. Did you see the car get in front of traffic or other cars?
What I observed was a vehicle failed to signal. I wasn't paying attention to other cars driving on Grand River.
Okay, so you didn't observe anything that you would call obstructing traffic?
The only thing I observed was the vehicle we were investigating, or attempting to investigate. So I can't tell you how many of the cars were in the parking lot either, were in the gas station either. So.
You were focused on that one call?
Yes.
Why were you, so you were focused on this car before you ever observed this alleged failure to use a signal?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only car you were looking at?
I would say, yeah, that's why we were, yeah, yes.
Okay. Now, when your squad car eventually exits the gas station parking lot, that was through a different exit, right? Than the one that the Malibu took?
Honestly, don't remember. I didn't drive that day, so honestly, I can't recall. This happened in February, so
Okay.
I don't recall. So.
And so when you get onto Grand River, pretty quickly, your partner activates the stoplights, right?
Yeah, I would say once I notified them that the vehicle had no insurance, and then that's when we activated her. Yeah.
Okay, so you notify him with no insurance. At what point do you say that you're able to run that plate?
I can't recall. I don't recall. I can't remember if I ran the plate inside of the gas station or on Grand River. I don't recall.
Okay, so it's possible that it wasn't until you were on Grand River that that plate is run?
It may be possible. I don't know what, that may be possible.
And when you get that no insurance result, are the lights already on?
No.
No. And you don't have any documentary proof of the no insurance, right? Like you haven't presented the prosecutor with what you saw, what you say you saw on your screen?
No, we don't. I don't print out lien printouts, so no, I don't have any proof of that.
Okay, so you had no basis for the no insurance at that point other than the lien result?
Yes. Yes.
And do you know how often lien is updated with insurance information?
No, I don't.
You don't know. So if I said it was monthly, once every 30 days, would you deny that?
I mean, I don't know.
Okay. Did you determine that the vehicle belonged to someone who is not present in the car?
I'm gonna have to refer to my notes for that.
You don't refer to your notes, okay. Well, perhaps I could do that. Show you something else in there. All right, just one moment, and then I will ask you to approach the witness. I'll move on from that question because I don't believe that was in your narrative specifically. But you're not sure who the vehicle was registered to.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who the, at this moment, I'm not. Yeah, I didn't, detail that in my report.
Okay,
So,
so you cannot confirm that there was follow-up made with the registered owner of the vehicle about whether that vehicle was in fact insured. You don't know.
that, yeah, I don't have it.
Do you ever learn any updated information about whether that car was insured?
No.
Officer Fields, I'd like to show you one piece of video and ask you some questions about it. Well, let me ask, first of all, have you ever reviewed surveillance footage from the gas station in this case?
No.
No, okay. Yes, I was asking for. I'm not an introvert. Yeah, it's for impeachment purposes. It's not for impeachment. I was planning to approach the witness and play the video on my computer. That is what I typically do, just in the interest of time. Is that all right with you, Judge? Or would you rather I log on to the Zoom?
Logging on to the Zoom would be preferable.
Very well. You know, that may take a few minutes as my computer is saying it's unable to connect. I do have the video queued up on my computer screen.
We don't have all day, so go ahead.
May I approach?
Yes.
Yes. Officer Fields, I'm going to ask if you recognize this scene depicted here on video? Is this familiar to you?
Yeah, this looks like, this looks like the gas station,
Yes,
Grand Parade.
thank you. I have this video queued up at right now it's at the 1 minute 18-second mark. I'm going to play less than a minute of it. Has no audio. We see a car here on the right side. Do you recognize that as the Chevy Malibu involved?
Yeah.
And do you recognize that squad car that just pulled up as the squad car you were in?
Yeah.
And would you agree that the Malibu, we are now at the 1 minute and 37-second mark, that the Malibu just pulled off?
Yeah.
And would you agree that as that happens, your squad car is pulling in the opposite direction from where the Malibu pulled off?
Yeah.
And would you agree that there are other vehicles between your squad car and the Malibu at that point?
Yeah, it's obvious, yeah.
And as I continue playing, would you agree that the video depicts your squad car pulling around and appearing to exit the gas station at a different location from where the Malibu did?
Yes.
Okay. And I pause that at the 1 minute 50-second mark. I have nothing further at this point. Thank you.
You're right.
Just briefly. Officer Fields, you mentioned earlier that you didn't drive. Who was driving?
My partner,
Which partner was that?
Alatia.
Okay, and you stated that you relayed that information that the vehicle had no insurance. Who did you relay that to?
It's my partner in the car.
Okay, and would that also include Officer Alatia?
Yes.
Okay, and how long after that, in the observation of the no signal use, was that vehicle pulled over?
Like as far as specifics, I don't know.
General time frame.
Within the 30 seconds, I can give you that much.
Okay,
Within 10 seconds, within 15 seconds.
all right, nothing further.
All right, sir, that item, that weapon that was recovered, was that weapon placed on evidence?
Yes.
You recall the evidence tag number it was placed on? Is
I would have to refer to my notes for that.
that a refresh your recollection?
I think I need the other.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Was it placed on?
It was placed on evidence, tag 712-568-1.
Okay, any questions based on my question?
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you, sir, you may step down. Any other witnesses for the people?
Nothing, people judge.
Any witnesses for the defendant?
Your Honor, I would be asking that the OIC Officer Wheeler, Donovan Wheeler, be called.
Give me an offer of proof as to what he would testify to.
Yes, he performed follow-up investigation and submitted this for a warrant. That warrant request was initially denied. I would like
What
to
does that
ask,
have to do with anything?
because he's familiar with the amount of evidence that was eventually submitted to get this warrant approved. I also believe that.
Well, past that, I don't care if there was initially a denial of the warrant, somebody approved it and here it sits before me now, so why is that relevant?
I would also be asking him about any follow-up investigation that was or was not done as to the insurance, which I believe may have been related to the denial of the warrant
The question
initially.
is, did the officer have probable cause at the time? So how is that relevant?
Well, that is my position, and if my request to call the officer in charge is denied, then I understand.
If you're gonna call a witness, and I'm not telling you you can't call a witness, but I would hope that you would have some relevant information that this witness will testify to. So far, given your offer of proof, I haven't heard.
I understand. So those were the topics that I wanted to ask him about, but I see where the court is coming from.
All right. Anything else?
Nothing from the people.
Okay. Anybody have a motion?
Judge, the people would move for a bind over on, all counts and reserve argument. I believe there was a question of that, so.
Counsel?
Your Honor, briefly, I just don't, object to bind over. I don't believe that the evidence that was covered in this case should be admitted. I don't believe that there is credible testimony as to what the basis of this stop and the timing of the stop.
Tell me why it wouldn't be a question of fact to be determined by a trial.
Because from what Officer Fields has described, there's just no physical way in which he would have seen what he claims to have seen in terms of a turn without a signal. That is the primary basis of this stop.
Why wouldn't that be a question of fact?
Because I don't believe
You
it.
understand, all I'm working with is the officer's testimony.
I
You
understand,
showed
but
off some video, but you didn't move to admit it or show it to the court. So I don't know anything about what this video shows. All I have is the officer's testimony to go by.
but the question of fact standard is about the probable cause that a crime was committed, not about whether there was a Fourth Amendment violation.
He said that the vehicle left the location without signal, made a turn without signal. In addition to that, he ran the license plate and discovered that it didn't have insurance. That sounds like probable cause for a stop to me.
So,
And Judge, may I just add, there was two reasons for the stop. It wasn't just the insurance, it was also the failure to signal, which is.
I thought I just said that.
Oh, I apologize.
No problem.
no.
All right, the court, after hearing the testimony of the officer, is satisfied the people have met their burden of probable cause as it relates to the charges contained in the complaint warrant. The court finds those charges were committed in the city of Detroit, and the court finds probable cause to believe this defendant committed. The defendant will be bound over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court Criminal Division for the proceedings. His arraignment on the information date and time will be June 17th, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. Bond will be continued.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Parties ready on Devin Johnson, calling case number 2456631, the people of the state of Michigan versus Devin Johnson. The defendant is charged with count 1, police officer cleaning fourth degree vehicle code. This matter is scheduled for exam.
Good morning, Your Honor. Agent Lewis for the people, P 85520.
Good morning, Your Honor. Max, P763411, appearing on behalf of Devin Johnson.
Haven't seen you in a while, Max. How you
Good to
been?
see you, Judge. I've been doing well.
Good. Okay, what do we have here?
Your Honor, I see the time set for preliminary exam on this matter. I've spoken at length with Mr. Johnson as well as with his parents. At this time, he understands his right to a preliminary exam, however, he wishes to waive that right to have this case gone over to the circuit court.
Sir, tell me your name for the record.
David Johnson?
Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You understand you have a statutory right to have a preliminary examination by waiving the same. That means you won't have one and you'll be bound over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court to stand charged with the complaint warrant. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand the nature and the purpose of the preliminary examination?
Yes, sir.
You understand if you were to have one, the prosecution would have to establish that the crime you're charged with was committed in the city of Detroit and there's probable cause to believe you committed it?
Yes, sir.
Is anyone forcing you to waive your right?
No,
Does anyone promise you anything?
no.
Are you waiving your right freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Any objection from the people?
No objections from the people, Your Honor.
The court finds defendant's waiver is made knowingly and voluntarily freely given. The court will therefore bind the defendant over to Wayne County Third Circuit Court Criminal Division for the proceedings. His arraignment on the information date and time will be June 17th, 2024 at 9:00 a.m. And bond will be continued.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great night.
Don't be such a stranger.
Hopefully I'll be back soon.
Of course, all right.
Parties ready on Larry Anderson,
Yes.
Calling case number 22-55502, the people of the state of Michigan versus Larry Anderson. The defendant is charged with count 1, embezzlement, agent or trustee, $1,000 or more, but less than $20,000. This matter is scheduled for exam.
Good morning, Your Honor. Asia Lewis for the people, P85520.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jamil Kuja, P71963, appearing on behalf of Larry Anderson. Your Honor, he should be there in person. I got stuck in another court and was having somebody come in to cover for me in the event that the exam was going forward.
Tell us your name for the record.
Larry Anderson.
There's a date and time set for preliminary examination. Are the people ready to proceed?
Your Honor, the people are not ready to proceed. The complainant witness, I believe his name is Kenneth McKenzie, has failed to appear. The officer in charge was here, did appear today and was unable to get in contact with him.
Mr. Kuja?
I'd move to dismiss.
So ordered. The court will dismiss this matter without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day. Nice seeing you.
The judge, the others I have our polls, our conversation ready for you.
Okay.
I do have Wagner, so he can come down the floor.
Oh. You are so appreciated.
Just to be talking about your
All right, Judge Wagner's on his way.
Oh, my father. It's gonna be fine.
Wait, is it Mr. O on this?
Oh, Mr. O. Yeah, he said he didn't see the email.
What
that I
email?
sent.
He on what?
He's on the discovery order
Oh, what?
that you guys objected to.
Oh, well, let me see.
This dismissal was for Anderson, right?
Yes.
Hey, Kitty.
Yes, Mr. O.
So for the Martin discovery order, what's the, it's just a stay of form.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Mr. O.
For the Melvin Martin discovery order, what was the objection? Because it's just the standard scale form.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but apparently it's something about lien on number 4. The arrest and conviction record of defendant.
That doesn't say the lien records, it just says the information. I mean,
I know, they're saying that's lien.
criminal history is listed on
Arrest
the
and conviction
information.
record. Well, you can't, where's Mr. Mohammed? Whoever's on that one. What was the reason for the dismissal on Anderson? I didn't hear.
Dismissal on Anderson was, I can't remember.
Was it witness?
Because the witness didn't show.
It was a civilian?
Civilian witness,
Okay.
because that was,
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Moore, I need you when you get a chance. That's Officer Moore.
What's your name?
Can you run these to, Judge King next door to sign? He forgot to sign this one, but I need to sign that dismissal. All right, so who we got next? Riley? DeAndre, I got DeAndre Riley.
what are we doing?
and
Cross?
Huckleberry.
What are you doing?
Huckleberry.
All the rest of them holes, Kitty.
Huh?
All the rest of them holes.
These two, Riley and Pulovich are holds, and I don't know about Chancellor.
These are whole two.
Oh, he's a hold too. So it's 3 holds.
Okay, thank you.
Or four.
Oh, yeah.
November.
Four.
First is,
Huh?
the Nance, you, and.
Right, Nance is Riley.
Yeah.
Right, she's
Oh.
first. I got her first. Oh,
So we got left with, everybody's in my.
do they have witnesses? You guys got witnesses on,
Yes.
victim? Yeah, Judge Giles is not here, so Judge King did most of them, but he's gotta do his own docket. I got Judge, Wagner coming down. These are the last 3 cases. I mean, they got their witnesses. Yes. What time you gonna be on? What time you gonna be there? Hey, it's already 12 o'clock. How many witnesses are here?
So just a heads up, can I talk to you real quick?
Vance, how many witnesses you have on yours?
I think it's 3.
Asia, you on Riley? Asia, are you on Riley? Mohammed is?
I'm not on anything.
So the last 3 Mohammed's
Oh,
on?
come with, so you're my man.
You don't wanna do it for it?
I gotta go prep tomorrow, so I'm gonna be here tomorrow, so we go now, I mean.
You want,
Gonna get judges.
the attorney wants to adjourn his, she's trying to,
What do we do with
We're gonna
Montgomery?
add a term.
What do we do with Montgomery?
so he,
Hell,
you said you're adding charge? I'm does he know that? The attorney?
Trying to see. Trying to see now.
Wait, knock it out.
We never did do the.
But it's the same one with,
No, that's Mr. Watts.
it don't add a witness.
Oh,
You heard me?
huh?
It don't add a witness, so it's the same witness. If the charge is added.
Yeah, because, you know, they.
Yeah. All right. So I think I'm gonna put Raekwon Watts over.
Okay.
Because they took him off. Oh, I got Mr. O too on this discovery order. Who's on, Martell, you, Asia, or Mohammed? The discovery order, I can't remember who.
Did you do it today?
No.
Do it, I don't see.
No, it was 2 days last week.
I was here every day except Friday.
So some wrote lean.
That's my, yeah.
Can it, do we need to go on the record for that?
Yeah, it has to go on the record, Mr. O. I mean, unless you wanna talk to the prosecutor.
Or the back in session.
So I have, DeAndre Riley first. It's a whole, but let me do this, discovery order real quick. Ms. Nance, no, you can come up with your name. I have a discovery order.
See my kid in the back? Stand up.
No, you don't have a child, you don't have a child. You have a child.
I do.
How are you, sir?
Let me get here first.
Yeah, that's my volleyball girl.
Oh, are you fine? No, but I was thinking you're doing a different sport. I'm going to, Orlando on the 10th for.
We'll see down there, we'll see down there too.
Okay. What's your team name?
She's with Michigan Elite 13 Missouri, so there will be an afternoon wave, they're playing the open.
Okay.
This is a homicide.
Okay.
Calling case number 24-57084, the people of the state of Michigan versus Melvin Martin. The defendant is charged with controlled substance, possession, cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic less than 25 grams. This matter is here on a order of discovery hearing.
Good morning, Your Honor, Asia Lewis for the people, P85520.
Morning, Judge Nick, in the service of Detroit by Gleno, PA 3424, appearing on behalf of Mr. Martin, who is not present, who asks in the court to waive his presence.
All right, we're here for what? We're just doing what?
Discovery order.
Just a discovery order? Okay.
Judge,
All right, now,
sorry, go ahead.
I do, and has, opposing party, took it over?
Yes, Your Honor, the people are objecting to, I believe, the number 4, and I think there's another number that mentions lien information, in which the prosecution is not at liberty to submit to defense counsel.
So Judge, if I may,
I'm listening.
I'm not requesting the lien information, and the proposed discovery order doesn't mention anything about lien. It's a standard discovery order from the state court administrator's office. It's their form. Number form just refers to the arrest and conviction record of Mr. Martin. That information is routinely disclosed as if somebody's charged as a habitual, the arrests and convictions are listed. I don't see what the issue is.
And Your Honor, the people only way of receiving that information is via lien, in which we cannot do. We actually had to sign a document that indicates that we cannot issue lien information. We will actually lose our job if we do that. The only way that we're able to obtain the arrest and conviction record is that way.
And Judge,
So you're asking something over and beyond that's, part of the plea form, I mean, not the plea form, but the charging document, which does, when it does charge an habitual, you will get that. So what are you asking for over and above that?
nothing, Judge. That I'm not asking for anything beyond that. It's the scale form. We routinely get that information. There's also a statute point that specifically says prosecutors are allowed to disclose that information. It's MCL 28.214. It's not illegal.
Counsel, this is a standard scale form. I'm not sure what you're saying that you cannot provide.
Your Honor, the only way that we are able to obtain the defendant's arrest record and conviction, a list of their convictions, is via lien. We are not at liberty in our office to provide the actual lien information. Hence, that information is provided if they're being charged as a habitual. The nature of that charge is on the information sheet. However, I cannot provide him with lien information. That's the only way that we can obtain that information.
I'm not sure what's changed since I've done both the prosecutor's job and did years and years of preliminary examinations where that information was routinely provided. Anything that was known by the police, I mean, they're not asking you to get a lien, but to run the lien, but certainly anything that you have in your possession.
Your Honor, and the only way that we were able to obtain that information is via lien.
So you obtained.
I didn't run the lien.
Your office obtained it,
Yes,
so you have it.
yes, and we cannot provide lien information to the defense counsel.
I'm gonna need a better explanation than that, because first and foremost, I don't know why the defendant doesn't have a right to know what his record is. Because he knows because he can look at the lien or look at his conviction record and say, that's not me. But if you have something that says he has a record, and he can't even look at it and say if it's correct, that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, Your Honor, I believe that the defense has other ways of obtaining that information. The only way the prosecution office has to obtain that information is by running lien, in which we're not at liberty to give out that lien information.
Okay, I'm gonna need more explanation than that, but we're gonna pass this for now. Right now, whatever you have, with regard to defendant's conviction record, it certainly doesn't make sense to me when you're gonna say, I have a record of your conviction, but I can't give it to you to verify if it's even correct. That doesn't make sense to me. So, I mean, it's not like you were giving lien information to others, you were giving it to his attorney who represents him. So, I'm gonna need a better explanation that way. We're gonna move on from this today. Council, we will address that. Any orders that you want to provide to me that I can look at and verify and sign, we will do that.
I'm sorry, Judge, could you say that one more time?
I said, we're gonna move on today, but any orders that you want to send to me regarding this, then you can send that to me. I can look at it and we can make a determination what is. I don't know if something has changed since I've done this, but it doesn't make sense to me that they cannot provide the defendant his own record, so. I like it to provide this general people, so, but so I will check that out and I will get back with you on it, so. Is this something that you need today, though?
Well, it would need to be resolved today because the preliminary examination is scheduled for tomorrow.
I didn't hear you.
The exam is tomorrow. Tomorrow, Judge.
The exam is tomorrow, so, we'll check. Is, Judge again? This excellent. Well, I may be here then, so, but we'll take a look at it. I'm gonna check into it, counsel, because that certainly is not something, that the people have something more than defendant, especially regarding his record and anybody that can't be provided to you. So we'll take it, but I'll take a look into that.
Thank you, Judge.
Today we'll proceed with the preliminary examination.
All right, thank you. We'll see everyone tomorrow.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry, you were talking, I thought this was for a case that was today.
No, it's for tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Then we'll address that, so.
So Judge, I have 2 holds. However, Attorney Johnson has a homicide that he needs to leave.
All right. Well,
And the
obviously,
defendant is in jail, and interest. Yeah, he is here. He's here.
oh, but he's on hold. So.
Yes, sir.
You have a conflict, what do you have, at the circuit court?
Yes, Judge, we were scheduled at 11:30 for an exam, and I have a homicide, final pretrial and Judge Slade at 1:30 in Washington.
And we didn't know that before today.
Oh, I didn't think it was any conflict, Judge,
Well, why is it conflict now? I mean,
because we're running late.
Oh, what time was it scheduled for?
11:30, and Miss Nance, hers, 10 a.m. She was 10.
Oh, 11:30 is only 12 o'clock, half an hour, that's.
Judge, I had met with my client and it was supposed to be a waiver. And he's changed all of a sudden and nothing.
Well, you know what, if he changes all of a sudden and he wasn't scheduled for an exam today, then I can't give his exam today because you have a conflict. You know, when we schedule exams, we
It was
schedule
scheduled for
exam,
exam, Judge.
I thought you said it was scheduled for what?
No, I said I had spoke with him and we were gonna wait when I came in, but, and the officers have been in there with me, it's changed, and the reasons it's changed is not really cogent, Judge, but that's what the problem is. So I thought everything was gonna be fine, even though we did run late, and that's not your fault, my fault, or anybody's fault. And Judge, one other thing, I did bring it to the attention of the prosecutor, they never did send me, there is surveillance and things of that sort. I didn't make a big issue out of it because we were waiting, but I have not gotten that yet. And with this client, Judge, I think I need to have everything before I move forward, because I don't want any problems.
As your counsel, I guess, my position is for every client, she's on everything at the right time, but I understand you're expecting a waiver trial, so we're really gonna be presented today, but there's never a way to put on the record, so what you're telling me is we're expecting an exam anyway, correct?
Yes, John. Judge Giles doesn't adjourn, he'll set you for an exam, he doesn't give you an extension of date.
Yeah.
Which I didn't have a problem with.
Your Honor, can I understand, like, so what are we considering here? Because I do have my civilian witness present, who's been here.
I have one question, which one was scheduled first? What we had.
That's great.
Another comment,
Oh, I don't know.
which one was scheduled first, counsel?
I believe Riley was scheduled.
No, he's not.
I'm sorry, just.
I was scheduled at 11 o'clock. Judge.
No, I understand, no, I'm not talking about time. When you signed, when you were scheduled for trial, that's out county someplace.
This case is over, Judge, the homicide is over, yeah. But like I said, there was no conflict.
I know. Mr. Johnson. Short adjournment, so they don't take him.
So you.
Or Thursday?
It's, I have to get permission, I have to get
And
permission.
you have to talk to your witnesses.
Yeah, exactly.
Come back.
Yeah, so let me get them and make sure.
Thursday.
Thursday, this week, right? When?
Yeah, I know.
It's hot.
I'm good, Judge.
Yeah. Yes. No, actually, that's, well, let me, thank you, yeah. Yeah. Oh, Judge, he took my, oh, I can do it. Yeah, I think he took my host.
Yeah, I'm not out there, so. Oh, if he took it, he was.
Yeah, he took it and forgot. He got out. Yeah, he didn't even make me call. Yeah.
That's one I can show out here.
Yeah, we can do that.
Seventh is good.
I'm not gonna do it. Seventh is good? Yeah.
And Judge, just for the record, I mean, the victim was here for 2 hours
Well,
almost.
let me break this, because the victim wasn't here for 2 hours. I was right there.
Hold on, I understand that, and there's some things that we can't avoid, so what do you want me to do?
I mean, maybe we can take it before this case. This other
What?
case. Maybe we can
No,
take it now.
this man's been here all morning.
So as the victim who drove from another city all the way to come here for this date that's been set for I don't know how long.
You know what, and I'm not unsympathetic to that, but there are certain things I cannot control, you know, and I know we're.
She's over there.
Ma'am, I apologize. I apologize, how far did you come down? From a cone, all right, that's right. Somehow got the impression that you were coming from there, and I was rarely got it.
Like this one.
So, and I'm not being sympathetic to this, but there are some things that are beyond my control, and we have a conflict. Now, is it too much of a hardship if we ask you